Hello, class. I am Tone. If you guys have been at StocktonCon before, you might have seen me. I'm always there. Mike Milrick has been super, super, super awesome to have me and my buddies out there. And I feel really bad that, with everything that's going on, we're not actually having a real StocktonCon, but this is going to be kind of interesting. And so I just wanted to introduce myself, show you some of the dopey stuff that I do. I draw comic books. So worked on Violent Messiahs, Mayhem, UTF, Shadowhawk, Dead Vengeance, The Covenant, Blood and Dust, something for 9 Inch Nails, and then my most current book, OMG, a horror anthology. And a lot of people know me from the Jimmy Halpert comic book from the TV show The Office. One of the things that is not in this little pile of wonderful stuff is I also spent a lot of time working on the Simpsons comic books and Futurama. And so we are going to basically do a class here on how to draw one of my favorite characters on the show, on the cartoon, and the comic book, and that is Krusty. So here we go. Basically, the one thing we need to know about The Simpsons is relatively, with most of everything about the show, there's a very distinct kind of like mathematical equation. They all have these really big eyes, with the exception of a few. Most of the characters are doe-eyed and whatnot, but all the characters have a very simple thing. There's usually, the circle up on top that basically creates the top of their head. And again, if we want to do simple, we could just go circle, circle, and then circle, circle, circle. You follow? Very, very simple. All the characters have a very unique overbite. Some of them are more pronounced than others. But the one thing I want to point out about Krusty in particular is Krusty, basically, when you break him down, resembles Homer Simpson. And that's kind of like a funny little inside joke, because Bart doesn't really have a whole lot of respect for his father. I mean, he loves his father, but there's not a whole lot of respect there for him. But he idolizes Krusty. And it's just crazy to think that, underneath all that, grease paint and green hair and whatnot, Bart kind of sees Homer in Krusty, which is one of the reasons why he loves him so much. So anyway, again, the circles are a big, big, big deal. So we're just going to kind of pop right in here. And I feel weird. I usually turn this stuff around to go ahead and draw the characters. But I'm going to try to keep it straight here today because I want you guys to kind of see what I'm doing. Why did I start with his chin? No particular reason. When you start drawing, you start doing this stuff on your own, you kind of always find your own way of starting. Most people start with their eyes. I generally do too, but for some reason, I just felt like I wanted to start with his mouth. And one of my biggest problems here is drawing what essentially should be almost perfect circles. They're not perfect circles, but they definitely need to be more circle-like than not circle-like. And I just tried my best. Now, the top of his head is a circle, but it's a little more square, I guess. And then, like I said, his ear is straight across from where his nose is at. And, here we are just going to finish off his collar, his shoulders. And then the thing about Krusty is he's got the stuff on his hair, the nice curly cues and whatnot. I think I messed up over here already. I can see it. We're going to pop over here to this side. And keep in mind, most of this stuff is just circles if you just break it all down to the simplest form. Taking this back, you know what I mean? It's like circle, 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 circle. You follow? Again, a lot of circles. And the reason why I said I messed up is because remember I was drawing Homer before. Krusty has that little bit of hair that just covers the top of his, brow right there. And that's pretty much it. Now, again, going back to the idea of Krusty altogether, I mean, Krusty's kind of got a few character flaws. One of the things he likes to do is he likes to smoke. And here we go. And again, going back to those shapes we talked about earlier, again, circle on top, circle for eyes. He's going to have a bit of a surly look here. And then here, we won't even get to see his overbite because he's going to be smoking on that cigarette. All right. And again, we're going to go back and focus on this stuff. Remember how I told you circle, 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 point, circle, 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 point, circle, circle. And again, that's pretty much all you got to do is just remember kind of like the math that, goes into drawing these characters. And again, most of them are pretty much the same, but a few of them differ. It's one of the reasons why I picked Krusty as opposed to like Mo or something. Mo's got a whole lot of interesting stuff going on in regards to how you draw him. He almost kind of breaks the rules. But the thing about The Simpsons is I remember going to my friend, Bill Morrison, who is the editor back when I was, before I started working on The Simpsons and the Futurama stuff. And I just wanted to draw Futurama like in the worst way possible. And I kept bugging him and I kept bugging him. And I just, every time I'd see him, I'd say, hey man, it's like, you ever need somebody to draw Futurama? And so finally I got this opportunity. He goes ahead and he goes, hey, we got this spot that we're kind of thinking, and we think you'd be perfect for it. And I said, oh, great, awesome, And he explained to me that it was going to be for Treehouse of Horror, and that it was going to be this rock and roll issue. And I was super stoked about it. And the thing was, he goes, oh, okay, that'll be awesome. So go ahead and, start working on it. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Can you guys give me the turnarounds? And he goes, oh, no, you don't understand. The Treehouse of Horror is kind of like the artist du jour thing. It's like, we just have you guys kind of do whatever it is you do. And I said, oh, so I can draw it any way I want? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I said, all right, cool. Send me the turnarounds because I want to draw it the way you guys do it. Because I didn't want to draw, like my version of Krusty. I mean, what would my version of Krusty look like? I'm going to just kind of rough something out super quick down here. I feel weird doing it now because like now I can't even imagine it, like how I would do it if I didn't have all this like I don't want to call it training in my, but like you figure out how to draw these characters. But like I just don't know how my version of Krusty would have looked any different than what they were already doing, because I probably wouldn't have paid attention to the, like the rules of, the shapes and whatnot. There's so many different rules. Oh my God. I'm even watching myself draw and I'm kind of like thinking to myself, it's like, oh, I'm not even paying attention to the rule breaking. I'm just kind of like, I am drawing Krusty without thinking of like how I would have done it back in the old days. This is funny. I haven't done one of these in a long time where I'm just kind of like winging it. All right, this is funny, but this is where I'm going to change things up a little bit to point out how I would have drawn Krusty. One of my favorite artists on the book at the time, I think, was uh, um, Hilary Barta. So he had this whole thing with like these hard shadows, on the characters, and I'm thinking like I probably would have wanted to have mimicked him, and I probably would have done a really bad job of it. So like scary, Krusty. Anyway, I don't even know. That doesn't even look right to me. But anyway, and I got one more over here. Maybe I won't draw the whole thing. I've already got him all worked out. But see, one of the reasons why I picked Krusty is because he's got range. He's got a lot of things going on inside that head of his. Sometimes he's manic, sometimes he's depressed. I mean, he's just like all of us, I guess, is probably the best way of putting it. He's constantly doing the wrong thing, but when he realizes how he's made a mistake, he's pretty quick to go ahead and deal with the fact that he made a mistake. Make sure that I'm in the camera. I can't see what you guys are saying. So if you guys are saying anything specifically to me, I apologize because I can't see it. I mean, now that's funny thing about these characters. There's so many rules about them. Like, like Bart has 9 points on his head. If you draw, one less, then you're not drawing him right. I bet you Krusty has a bunch of rules too, like how many balls are in his, hair. Off the top of my head, I have no idea what that answer would be. But there we go. I remember the first time I got a drawing from one of the Simpsons guys. I got it from Phil Ortiz. And I got it like at an event. We were both doing a signing in at not Golden Apple, at Mile High Comics in Anaheim. And we were there, and sometimes you do these events and they're bombastic. You're just swamped from beginning to end. This was one of those events that just wasn't very well promoted, or it just didn't happen. It was just crazy. We were pretty much just hanging out in a comic book shop for a day. But I remember hanging out with Phil and talking to him about all sorts of stuff. And while we were sitting there, when you get kind of that point where things aren't really happening, you end up starting to draw for your friends. So he went ahead and did a drawing of Sideshow Bob for me, which I still have. It's running out of room here. Oof, that hand looks atrocious. Oof. That's what I get for drawing fast. So again, man, just drawing characters, just doing this stuff. I'm trying to see what we got here, because I can see some of these messages. Way to pivot. I don't even know if that was a slam. I was trying not to turn it. I was trying to keep it so you guys could see what I was doing. So anyway, but you know, there you go. I mean, again, I'm just I used to love working on this stuff. Bongo's been gone for a while now, and I'm kind of bummed out because, you know, all these characters who are, you know, part of my life, they're you know, I don't get to draw them anymore, which is why when we started this thing today, I was a little nervous because I was thinking to myself, it's like, oof, it's like I'm rusty. So I went ahead and I spent like half the morning like redrawing and looking at some of these characters, because I didn't want to have a poor showing. One thing he's always got to remember, the eyes got to be doe eyes. You know, one eye's got to be pointing that way, the other one's got to be kind of pointing that way. 1, 2, 3. And like I said, the ear is right there. Actually, we should just make a big. 2, 3, 4, 5 teeth. Oops, I'm wrong pen. I was about to make a horrible mistake. This reminds me of a thing where in an episode of Futurama, Lur is about to attack Earth because they canceled a TV show back in the 2000s, and it was called Single Female Lawyer. And so the signal from that TV show had finally reached the planet that he's on, Omicron Persei, and he now can't watch the rest of the show because they didn't make any more episodes. And, you know, everybody who was involved with the show clearly has been, you know, killed or is dead by now. And so he travels to Earth, and he's going to destroy Earth unless they can give him a satisfactory resolution to the episode. And Fry remembers the show, so he goes ahead and takes it upon himself to go ahead and write the episode. And they start performing it, and then they're like 2 seconds into the show, and I think Leela turns to him and says, "There's nothing else here. You know, like, where's the rest of the script?" And he goes, "Well, it took me 2 hours to write it. I thought it would take 2 hours to read it." So I'm feeling the same way. I went ahead and I started working on this thing, this presentation earlier, and I said, this will fill in the 25 minutes of what I'm going to do. And then I realized, it's like, nope. So I'm still drawing because I'm super nervous that you guys are not going to be happy with what I'm doing. If you like to win some of our prize, no, that's something else. Looks great. Keep it up. That's very kind. This made my Saturday. I'm glad it made my Saturday. I would have bought one from you. We got one to see things we usually don't because we're in our booth. Love this. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Love it. Love The Simpsons. Me too. Yay. You drawing Krusty the Clown. Awesome. Yay. Andrea. Hello. You have the same name I do. That's so cool. Jennifer. Hello. Cool. Just a reminder if you have any questions about the. Okay, so nobody has any real questions. So I drew along. This was fun. Thanks, Tone. Oh, you are being delightful. Thank you so much. Does anybody have anybody I can draw? I mean, I've been drawing Krusty, but I can draw anybody. I could draw. Can I draw? Can I go closer on this? I can't go closer on this. I'm gonna draw a character that's not usually a Simpsons character. And again, just applying, you know, the whole Simpsons kind of like idea of what things are supposed to be.
Hey, Tone, it's Mike again. I want
Hey, what's
to
up?
thank
There you are.
and keep on drawing, but I want to remind people that are watching, I posted the link in the chat to check out Tone's Kickstarter.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice of you. It ends soon, so. So here, I'm just drawing. Oh, we disappeared. Did we disappear? We disappeared. I'm going to keep drawing just because. So anyway, this is me drawing the Joker as a Simpsons character. I did get to draw a Bartman story, but I didn't really get to draw a Joker-looking character in it. I was kind of bummed out about that. Anyway. Oh, well. I'm sure we could have done better than that. But anyway, we're just kind of freewheeling it. Excuse me. And again, you can turn almost anybody into a Simpsons character. You know, again, just keeping those ideas in mind. You know, the eyes. You know, the nose. You know, the mouth, the ears. You know, that kind of stuff. One of the people I think I've turned into a Simpsons character on more than one occasion is actually me. I've made more cameos in Simpsons and Futurama and Radioactive Man comic books than I remember. So I figure I'll just go ahead and draw me here as a Simpsons character. I feel weird drawing me like that because I used to be really heavy and I used to draw myself more like was it comic book guy. I used to wear a bandana.
Tone, I got a question from one of
Yeah.
our fans. Teresa asks, who is your favorite guest star appearance on The Simpsons?
Favorite guest star appearance. You know what? That is funny. They've had so many. I'll be honest with you. I think one of the ones I really, really like was the time they had U2 on there. And it's not even that I'm a huge U2 fan. I just thought it was really funny what they did with them on the show. Like somehow they had talked them into playing Moe's for some reason. And I can't even remember why, but I just thought it was so funny that, you know, they were in there dealing with that. It was almost like, I mean, I think they had Aerosmith in there once. The Red Hot Chili Peppers played at Moe's once. I just think it's funny that that kind of turned into like a running gag on the show that for some reason they could manage to get like um, big quality like rock stars to kind of like pop in and like end up playing Moe's for some reason. So there you go. That's how I used to look. Now I draw myself like that because I don't look the same anymore. Duff Beer Man. Somebody said Duff Man. It's like I got to remember how Duff Man looks.
This has got to be a real quick one, Tone, because we're bumping up to our next panel.
It's no problem. I mean, you can cut me off at any time. I'm just kind of like drawing. I'm like, again, I just want to make sure that I'm doing a decent job for you because I don't want to disappoint you. I think Duff Man wears a hat. Oh, man. I'm chewing this one up. I think it says Duff on his hat.
All right, Tone.
There you go. That's
thank
it.
you
That's
so much,
quick.
man. Really appreciate it. And we will talk to you soon.
You take care. Later.